if you have to win someone, meaning if you have to win their involvement with you or win their affection, win their love, or even their willingness to have a relationship with you in the first place by, let's say, outshining their other options, or by overlooking their red flags, or by selling yourself, like running a promotional campaign on yourself, you are not winning a partner. What you're doing is you're entering into a sort of permanent audition for this person. And auditions don't necessarily have to end. When you enter a relationship in this way, the audition becomes part of the core structure of the relationship. Hi, I'm Madalena, and this is You Reclaimed. Around here, we talk about how childhood trauma and anxiety and emotional dysregulation shape our lives, and how we can work with these patterns so that we can finally live meaningful and fulfilling lives on our own terms. Today, I want to talk to the part of you that is living with the idea that if I prove my value in winning this person, then that should count for something. And what I want to tell you is that it does. It does count for something. It's just not what you think. It counts as training, not of this other person, but training for you. In working to win someone, you train yourself, both your behavior and your nervous system, that your connection to this person is earned through your good performance, through you competing for them, through you tolerating things about them that are uncomfortable or hurtful or even completely unacceptable to tolerate. So, yes, you can certainly win, but what you're winning is a permanent audition for yourself. Let's start with the beginning, with the way you enter into a relationship. However, you get into the relationship generally becomes the tone of how it will run going forward. Meaning, if both people enter into a relationship willingly and enthusiastically, well, fantastic. You're on equal ground approximately. Maybe you can never be on completely equal ground, but relatively, yes, you're on good footing. If, on the other hand, the entrance into the relationship is I earn you through my performance and my good behavior and by demonstrating my incredible qualities, then the tone of the relationship going forward becomes I'm now going to have to keep earning you at all of the important twists and turns of this relationship. What does that mean exactly? It means that when either one of us comes under stress or the relationship itself comes under stress and we are no longer at our absolute best together and deeply in love and taken in by each other's charm, now we're going to default back to the structure of me earning you through my performance because that's what got me to you in the first place. So when you're stressed out and you feel a need for validation, now I'm going to have to be the star and show you that I should be the one to offer you this validation. Because if I don't, well, there might be other people out there who are probably willing to do it. Or when life gets a little bit hard and I lose my job and you don't feel so enthusiastic about me being your partner because I'm not at my best anymore, I'm going to have to perform doubly and show you that my worth is going to come back online at the first opportunity. Or if someone close to me passes and I spent 3 months grieving and I can't patch myself back together on an expedient schedule, I'm going to have to mix my grieving with my ongoing performance to keep you interested. So every difficult turn in our life together, every small wobble will pull me back into having to sell myself to you. I'll have to do you one more favor. I'll have to give you one more second chance. I'll have to offer you one more, be patient with me. I'm working on performing better. In this kind of dynamic, you become a sort of product, and your partner is the evaluator judging your performance at all times, maybe offering you performance reviews if you're lucky. But this is not the tone of a partnership. This is a market, and you're just trying to offer the flashiest, best deal available. Another problem with this idea of proving your value, the prove your value trap, is that showing your value to another person might sound empowering. This is an especially appealing enterprise for those of us who come from childhood trauma because we already have a very performative mindset of having to prove our worth to the people in our lives. This somehow makes us feel like we're capable, like we're doing great. Only it isn't, not if it's the price of entry to a relationship, because doing this means that we don't just have to prove our value once, we have to now create a precedent, and that precedent is that my worth here is conditional on what I produce, or how tolerant I am, or how well I outperform the other options you have in your life at any given moment. Now, proving my value might make you think that I'm demonstrating my quality to the other person, but my partner may just learn that they can raise the bar a little bit at any moment. So today I overlook a lie because I want to show you grace, but my partner learns that grace is available at my expense. Or today I accept that we can't just be exclusive yet because I want to look chill or understanding or tolerant. And my partner learns that my boundaries are quite flexible. Maybe I laugh off triangulation today just to stay in the relationship because I really want to be with you. But you learn that scarcity works on me. So now you can keep me slightly hungry and doing whatever you want because I'll stick around, because I want you in the first place. In all of these scenarios, I'm not actually showing my value. I'm devaluing myself and disguising it as effort. Effort sounds better. And I understand the temptation to do this, especially when we really, really want someone. But you have to resist the urge to show your value in this way. Keep in mind, when someone keeps themselves scarce while you're hustling all the time to keep their attention, you're training yourself to understand that safety in a relationship is equivalent to you fighting for security with this person. That sets you up to chronically overfunction in a relationship while your partner can just invest a little bit because they don't have to invest that hard. You're doing all the investing yourself. You're managing that gap between the two of you. That means that you'll always require more work to stay in the relationship. You'll make more concessions, more plans, more apologies, more excuses until that gap between your effort, it becomes the entire relationship and you're filling it yourself. Remember, the bottom line here is that if you have to compete to get into a relationship, you're going to have to compete to stay in that relationship. Always remember that. You will not be able to change that pattern. A lot of voices out there are teaching you that you have to compete and you have to compete hard to win high value people. That is not the case. Two people getting together because they offer each other the right conditions so that they are both happy to enter in a relationship, that is not the same as you having to compete and to show your worth to enter a relationship with someone. If you want to learn more about this idea of conditions in a relationship, watch my video called Unconditional Love, Why It Won't Hold a Relationship Together. But the first is a very natural and holistic scenario in which what each person has to offer, intrinsically has to offer, is wanted by the other. And the other scenario is one person trying to make themselves fit somewhere where they do not fit. These are two completely different things. Another problem with winning a relationship or a person is that once you win, you internalize the status of that win. It feels like you've sort of beaten the field. You got this person to say yes to you, and now you become the person who won. There's a high to that feeling. It's very real and it's very blinding. But winner status doesn't give you safety in a relationship. Status will not hold you close at 2 a.m. when you're by yourself wondering where your partner is. Status doesn't repair hurts or injustices or negligence between two people. And that feeling of I won can become your entire identity. Leaving a relationship like that can feel like losing face. And you won't want to do that because it feels awful. This is why so many people who enter relationships in this way stay, and they keep paying the price for staying because they don't want to look like failures in their own eyes or in the eyes of everyone else around them. Give a lot of thought to what you have to tolerate to get into a relationship, whether that's slippery or kind of unclear stories from your partner, or if it's being compared to other potential partners, or just crap behavior in general. What you tolerate to get into the relationship will become the norm that you'll be asked to tolerate on an ongoing basis, just to stay in that relationship. When you accept these kinds of high-priced red flags like that, you don't just accept them one time. You teach your partner that access can be negotiated against your own wants, against your own boundaries, your own values. Entering relationships this way erodes your confidence and your value as a human being. Campaigning for a person's attention or love or commitment, it doesn't just signal to them, it signals to you. Every time you argue your case to be loved or chosen by someone in this way, your inner shame grows, and shame doesn't make you leave. It makes you work harder so you don't have to face the truth of the situation and potentially more shame. An added note here, because we talk so much about limerence on this channel, I think it's valuable to mention here that this kind of pattern is gasoline on limerence and lopsided attraction. Your partner's doubtful attention and doubtful interest leads you to crave them more. This kind of almost attitude, or only at the right price attitude, it keeps you hooked harder than a steady yes. A steady yes is soothing. A steady yes will make limerence cool down in no time. Competing for a person in this way also builds the fantasy of limerence, because you're relating less to who the person actually is. Red flags are noticeable to most people. It's not that you don't see red flags, it's that you negotiate with this future projection that you have of the person. You think, I can fight for this person now as long as they become the kind of person I want to relate to in the future. None of that is going to happen. But you think that if I fight for them and I win them and they're mine, perhaps they'll become the fantasy of them I've built up in my head. If you're uncertain about whether someone is really into you, please take a quick detour and watch my video titled, If They Wanted to Be With You, You'd Know, The Trap of Limerence. But remember, winning someone in this way creates dependency. Your nervous system relaxes only when they say yes to you, so you're going to need a lot of yeses, a lot of assurance just to feel okay being with this person. Underneath, you'll always know that you entered into the relationship in this way. You'll always know that it wasn't a solid, clear yes from this person. Relationships work best when both people choose to be together without being won, without being coerced, without being convinced into it. If you had to win them, you'll always have to. And you'll have to start up your performance act again at the most inopportune times. When you're going through a bad patch of life, when you're swimming in debt, when your wife meets a new coworker who's 4 years younger and has better abs. Don't keep auditioning for a role that makes you feel like a hamster running for the prize for the rest of your life. Remember that building with someone with whom the yes is really obvious and clear, it gives you the best chance for a healthy, reciprocal relationship. By the way, if you haven't already, grab my free attachment style quiz and calm down toolkit at youreclaimedproject.com. The links for those resources and any others I will make available in the future are always listed in the description below the video. As always, thanks for watching You Reclaimed. If this content speaks to you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need it today. See you in the next one.